We're here in Australia with Con from Kizlyar Knives, straight out of Russia. Now, Kizlyar Knives are obviously a fantastic knife, but Con, what does go into making a good quality knife?
Well, Simon, I'm glad you asked this question. There are many knives out there, but realistically there are only a few good ones. First of all, people that make knives should know exactly why they are making that knife and what its purpose is. This will be reflected not only in the quality of the tool, but also in the diversity of the designs to suit different applications.
Well, Con, in making a good knife, what things should be looked at?
We need to look at the construction process as well as the types of materials used. For example, the quality of steel used as well as the manufacturing process will decide the lifespan of the knife.
What are the main components of a knife, Con?
A knife consists of three main elements: a sheath, a blade and a handle. A reliable knife should excel in all three.
Con, I've heard about Damascus steel for knives, but what sorts of steel types are more common?
There are two general types of steel: high carbon and corrosion resistant, also known as stainless. High carbon is normally cheaper, but it is subject to corrosion and needs constant care. High carbon steel will rust and degrade quickly. Corrosion resistant steels have certain elements like vanadium, molybdenum and others added during the smelting process so that the resistance to rust is improved. It is harder to manufacture, but performs better in harsh conditions and does not require constant maintenance. When your priority is maintaining your rig, you do not have to worry about maintaining your knife. It should function every time and require little to no care. This is the benefit behind the corrosion-resistant steels.
Con, what about the heat treatment process?
The most important thing is proper heat treatment of the blade. Unfortunately, many manufacturers of cheap knives fail to heat treat their knives properly, if at all.
And how about the handle?
Wood has been very popular because it tends to feel warm and comfortable in the hand. Some manufacturers soak wood in special compounds that improve its qualities and resistance to wear and tear. Another popular choice would be a thermoplastic elastomer like Elastron G. This is a very good material because it feels warm and comfortable and it doesn't slip when it gets wet. Also, it is highly resistant to damage. In my view, for a four-wheel driver, a knife with Elastron G would be ideal. It is also very important that the knife has a full tank construction, meaning the blade goes all the way into the handle.
Well, Con, I'm certainly learning as we go, and our viewers certainly have a fantastic understanding now of what goes into making a good knife. For what reasons would a four-wheel driver realistically need a high-quality knife like that?
Simon, a knife is simply a tool and is in that sense a very handy one. In some situations, a knife could even mean the difference between life and death. And of course, I'm not talking about self-defense here. I'm talking about survival. And not just any survival, but real-life survival in some of the most remote and harshest locations on the planet, outback Australia. Whether you were using a knife to gather firewood, skin an animal for food, or even fashion a makeshift plug to fix a hole in a part of vehicle, a good knife should be a mandatory item in anyone's survival kit. And that in itself would be the basics for most four-wheel drivers. Imagine trying to get someone out of a crashed vehicle when they are stuck in with their seatbelt. It could be disastrous. I believe the right knife is a must for a four-wheel driver.
Finally, Con, why are good knives hardened to around 56 Rockwell?
When steel is hardened to around 56-58 Rockwells, it is easy to sharpen with a stone in the field so that you do not have to carry special sharpening equipment in your car. When hardness is higher, the knife can only be sharpened with special equipment. This is the benefit of having hardness of 56-58 Rockwells in a knife.
All right, Con, very informative. Kizlyar Knives, you are the expert here in Australia. Thank you very much for your time, and I certainly personally look forward to getting out and using some of your knives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you.